What do I think is the biggest threat crisis today? Am I useless, or do I do something to combat it? I'm like pretty useless. I'd say like, oh, my chest. I'd say overall, definitely like try to be conscious of the environment. I'm not throwing trash out my window. I do use the right trash cans, although I didn't for like till I got to like high school. I used the right trash cans. Recycle, paper for paper, trash for trash. Used to save cans under my sink in a trash bag. Now I just don't drink any soda, so I don't really save them. Excuse me. I think the biggest that we have, should start with that one, is definitely, I don't think it's one like big thing, one physical thing. I think that it's overall society like not caring as much, throwing out litter being normalized. When I'm with my friends, right? Some people, right? They care heavily, right? They're like, hey, keep the trash here, keep this here, and you're like, okay, it's your car. I'll follow what you're gonna say. For other people, they just throw, you get done eating food, they're like, oh, I'll put it in the bag. You put it in the bag, they throw it out the window. You're like, it's kind of weird, You say something, they're like, act like you've done nothing wrong, and you're just like, hey, man, what's going on there? So, I think that can definitely be a little bit problematic. I'd say that it's obviously like people not caring. People, even if you provide somebody a solution like, hey, the earth is dying, right? We have like X, Y, and Z problem, right? You can help yourself, right? You can bother to care. All you have to do is like bike to work instead of running, or eat less meats in your diet overall. Start growing a little garden for yourself. People, that sounds good in theory, but they don't really want to do it, especially when they see everybody around them. It is harder for people to. It's harder for somebody to bike to work, right, and have all their employees, all their coworkers be like, "Hey, why are you biking to work?" And you're like, "Oh, it's better for the environment." I think it's just worse. Most people just aren't going to do that, even if they know it's better for the environment, because it's just how people are. One, ego. Two, people are like obviously not that. People are, I think, inherently just lazy. Why would you do that when you could just have your car? Especially, I get it, like in the colder months. I think that biggest problem we have now is not only that people don't care, it's that people are like, I'm not going to be here. So like, I have people in my grade this year talking about similar subjects from English class. Be like, I understand what you're saying. I see it's a problem, but I don't necessarily care. And we're like, oh, okay, please, do tell. What is your great thing? Is it just like, oh, we live on a rock in space? I do think we do live in a rock in space, and that a lot of things we worry about are insignificant. But I feel like the planet we live on is like pretty boring. They're like, oh well, I'm not gonna be here. I'm gonna have kids. It's definitely gonna affect them. But we're probably gonna have fossil fuels till at least I die. And I'm like, I get that, because like, why worry about things after you die? But isn't that the whole purpose? Because we're supposed to be here to procreate. That's like our biological purpose. And then everybody has their own creativity, purpose, mindsets, ideas. Things that they think number one to them, what their legacy wants to be. I feel like you should want to, you can't have a legacy if there's nobody to remember you. You know what I'm saying? So I think overall, biggest problem is people not caring as much, or just saying, hey, we're kind of cooked no matter what. Like, why should I care when I can't do anything? When in reality, every individual can do something. In order to leave a good legacy, you have to have humans on Earth. So I feel like everybody should care just a little bit. But yeah, I'd say overall, people not caring, and obviously just global warming as a whole. There's just not a whole lot. We've been saying that we needed to do change, and then now it's like, hey, it's too late. Things are gonna happen no matter what. Bad things.